One of the things that I've been seeing in LA is just the lack of resources given to those communities that mostly need alternative and cheaper methods of transportation.
Other nonprofits do amazing work, but they do so much work within more affluent neighborhoods, not like Boyle Heights, South Central, Watts, Compton, other neighborhoods that have the same kind of needs, but there's nobody organizing in our neighborhoods.
We want to get some bike lanes up in Boyle Heights.
So we're going out and we're actually speaking to people, business owners, people that are just walking on the street.
The big thing for this project is to ensure that we are able to get low-income communities of color to be engaged in becoming our own bike advocates.
The project I'm working on now with MCM is the Promotores program.
Filling in that gap of what's been missing in bicycle advocacy here in Los Angeles. So identifying our team was critical.
I really like riding my bike because it makes me feel more connected in my community.
I've been biking since I was in high school.
I've been biking 13, 14 years.
Sometimes 5 to 20 miles a day.
I've only used public transportation and bicycle.
Even now, I still don't drive a car, carless.
I think we honestly have a really awesome team of folks.
Yes, we wanted to make sure that everybody in the Promotores reflected the community members.
I grew up here. They see me as, you know, they see their kids.
They offered me a chance to do something for the better of the community, and I took it.
So the next step was to really strategize of what our game plan was going to be.
You know, maybe doing like some kind of workshop event.
Yeah, so for me, a bike ride would be doing that.
It seems like we all come to agreement that bike lanes are needed in this community.
We decided that we wanted to focus on Boyle Heights and the bike lanes that are potentially going to be going up from Huntington to 8th on Soto and from 4th to 8th on Boyle Avenue. It was really important to advocate for bicycle lanes, especially on Soto, just because of the high collision rates, the high death rates.
Over 60% of all households here in Boyle Heights have less than one vehicle, so that's telling us that most people here don't have a car.
A community where you have a lot of youth, a lot of undocumented folks who really riding their bike is their only means of transportation.
If we're going to advocate for these bike lanes, it has to meet the needs of the communities. We cannot just slap on paint onto pavement. So one of the first actions we did was create a survey, a community survey, where we sent out to over 200 stakeholders, where we were inquiring what are their bicycle needs, how would we increase ridership,
just to see what they want. If people don't even know they have choices or input or a voice to it.
And that was key because that developed really our campaign. Okay, well, based on what people are saying, here's what we need.
Just that conversation when we talk about more than just, a bicycle lane, but it's a bicycle lane, but there's also bike safety education programs, right? Safer streets, more lighting.
We kicked off the survey at 2014 Summer Clitoral Mass.
At Clitoral Mass, it was really awesome to engage a lot of the young women that were at that bike ride.
So now how do we engage community to join us in these conversations? So one of the first things we did was the outreach at Ciclavia.
Well, today's Ciclavia was a great opportunity for us to flyer and for us to talk one-on-one.
It's one of the biggest events in LA. We got so many folks coming through from all parts of town, not just from the neighborhood. So it's a good way to just connect folks, to get the word out to everyone we can.
We flyered over, I believe it was like 300 flyers there.
That helped us to invite people to the meeting that we had.
So we're going to do a community meeting on the 26th to talk about that, like infrastructure, the policies. So that's what we're asking folks to sign up.
Yeah.
There's so much going on in our neighborhood right now that's changing that anything new infrastructure-wise is seen as a form of gentrification.
So we were really keeping our ear to the community and responding to it, being like, okay, if that's a concern, then let's address it and let's have a workshop about it. So when we did Will Bikes Gentrify Our Hood.
My name is Tiffany Lamb. I'm born and raised in Boyle Heights. I wanted to come here today because I'm very specifically interested in issues of gentrification because I see a lot of changes in my neighborhood.
It was great. It was great to see people dialogue. Collaboratively, it was a room full of 30 people. We came up with kind of what are key questions we need to ask ourselves when a project that's coming into our community that may seem like a good idea on the surface, to ensure that it's actually going to serve the current needs of the current community members, so that it's not something that's responding to some developer's attempt or some other community's attempt of entering.
As we're such a car culture, to see so many folks from different neighborhoods coming out to Boyle Heights to talk about bicycle advocacy is a great thing.
We went to the LA Bicycle Advisory Committee. We went to the Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council. We really thought it was important to also tap into power players.
This is the stat for all the accidents in down Soto. As you can see, they're very high numbers.
We went to different shops and we talked to them about supporting bicyclists in Boyle Heights. And you know, a lot of folks didn't know that there's going to be bike lanes coming in.
It's going to cross Soto? Yeah, it's going to go through all Soto to 8th Street.
A lot of them were actually cyclists and were really enthusiastic about like getting bike lanes because they themselves ride to work or ride back.
If they were okay with like supporting us through posting this poster on their business window.
I think we did pretty well. 100% support.
46 posters go out, and that happened within 40 minutes.
They were like, yeah, we want to see more folks come and ride their bikes.
I think the biggest thing to take away from our MCM Promotores project is that the community has to be the leads on this.
Getting people from the community, people that know the streets, people that know the language, people that could relate to one another.
It's all about knowledge, and as soon as you give the people the knowledge and the resources and you give them the decision, the choice to do it.
Having folks take that into their own hands, I think it's really necessary.
Invest in those folks that are already in the community, whether they're leaders or future leaders that just need development. Investing in other folks is the best thing you can do.
I think it's really powerful to see, you know, other people that are also using alternative methods of transportation, like doing the advocacy work necessary to create change.